half the time doesn't work. And half is being generous.
Yes.
Good? Shabbat Shalom. Good Shabbos, good evening. Welcome to Congregation Dor Tamid and our Friday evening Kabbalat Shabbat worship service. It is a pleasure to see all of you tonight, joining us here in the sanctuary, as well as everyone joining us virtually on Zoom, Facebook, YouTube, and our website. We come to this weekend, this Friday night, and the whole country has finally caught up to us in celebrating a rest from labor this weekend with our Labor Day holiday, but also this day of Shabbat that we know is a blessing each week, not just once a year, a blessing where we can put the labor aside, put the work aside, take that step back and renew ourselves ahead of the week to come. As we gather tonight, we gather for many reasons. Some of us are here because it is Friday and we seek our community. We seek the presence of the divine on Shabbos. Some of us are here as we are saying healing blessings for a loved one, a family member, or a friend. Some of us are here to seek comfort from ancient words and our friends and family as we are walking through the valley of the shadow, and we support all of you on this Shabbat as well. Whatever our reasons are for being together, we are together as a community, and that truly is a beautiful thing. We open with those words, how beautiful it is, on page 128.
Hine ma tovu manayim sheverachim gam yachad. 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 Hine ma tovu manayim sheverachim gam yachad.
As we do each week, we bring more light into creation as we enter into our day of rest. And to light our Sabbath candles tonight, I'm going to ask Debbie Rubin to please come to the bima as we all turn to page 120.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher kiddushanu b'mitzvotav v'tzivanu Le'adlikner shel Shabbat.
Amen.
Shabbat Shalom.
You know, on the week that we don't have trouble lighting our candles will be the week the Falcons win the Super Bowl and the Messiah comes. But
Well, that's some serious prophecy
That's-
right
yeah.
there, Rabbi. What's not a Torah portion for that?
we
No.
turn to page 124 as we read responsively. May the door of this synagogue be wide enough to receive all who hunger for love, all who are lonely for friendship. May the door of this synagogue be narrow enough to shut out pettiness and pride, envy and enmity. May it be too high to admit complacency, selfishness, harshness. We turn to page 130 as we enter into Kabbalat Shabbat with Psalm 95.
Lechuneranena l'Adonai, Nariya l'choishenu, Nekad mafana b'toda, Bizmirot Nariya lo. Page 131. Shiru l'Adonai, Kol haaretz, Shiru l'Adonai, Shir Chadash. Shiru l'Adonai, Kol haaretz, Shiru l'Adonai, Shir Chadash. Sing unto God, all the earth, a new song. I will sing unto God a new song. Sing unto God, and we'll all sing along. All the earth, a new song unto God. Shiru l'Adonai, kol haaretz. Shiru l'Adonai, Shir Chadash. Shiru l'Adonai, kol haaretz. Shiru l'Adonai, Shir Chadash.
Page 134. Zamru l'Adonai b'kinor v'kol zimra, v'chatzot zrod v'kol shofar hariu lifnei hamelech Adonai. Yiram hayam umla'o tevel v'yoshveva, neharot imcha'u chaf yachad harim yiranenu. Sing praise to Adonai with the lyre and melodious song, with trumpets and the blast of the horn. Raise a shout before Adonai the ruler. Let the sea and all within it thunder, the world and its inhabitants. Let the rivers clap their hands and the mountains sing joyously together at the presence of Adonai. For God is coming to rule the earth. God will rule the world justly and its peoples with equity. We turn to Lechadodi on page 138.
Lechadodi likrat kala, b'nei Shabbat nekabela. 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 Shamor v'zachor b'dibur echad, Ishmiyanu el hamiuchad. Adonai echad u'shemo echad, l'shem l'tiferet v'litila. Lechadodi likrat kala, B'nei Shabbat nekabela, lecha dodi likrat kala. B'nei Shabbat nekabela, likrat Shabbat lechu v'nelcha, ki hi mekor haberacha, merosh mikedem nesucha, sov ma'aseh b'machshava tehila. Lecha dodi likrat kala, B'nei Shabbat nekabela, lecha dodi likrat kala, B'nei Shabbat nekabela. Hitoreri, kiva ore kumbi ori, uri shidaberi, kevod Adonai alayik nigla. Lecha dodi likrat kala, B'nei Shabbat nekabela, lecha dodi likrat kala, B'nei Shabbat nekabela. Ohi v'shalom ateret bala, Gam besimcha uvetzola, toch emunei am segula. Boi kala, lecha dodi likrat kala, B'nei Shabbat nekabela, lecha dodi likrat kala, B'nei Shabbat nekabela.
We transition now into our Mari service on page 144 with the words of the Chatzi Kaddish.
Yitkadal v'yitkadash shemei Rabbah.
Amen.
Be'alma divrach hirutei v'yamlich malchutei, B'chayechon uvyomechon uv'chayei techol Beit Yisrael. Bagala, uvisman kari ve'imeru, amen. Yehi shemei Rabbah mevorach, le'alam ulal me'al maya yitbarach, ve'yishtabach, ve'yitpa'ar ve'yitromam ve'yitnaseh, ve'yitadar ve'yitalev ve'yitalal, shemei dekudesha berichu, le'ela min kol berchata ve'shirata, tushbechata ve'nechemata, ta'amiran be'alma ve'imeru, amen. Am I awake? Am I prepared? Are you listening to my prayer? Can you hear my voice? Can you understand? Am I awake? Am I prepared? Barechu et Adonai Amvorah. Baruch Adonai Amvorah le'olam va'ed, le'olam va'ed. Yalalai lai lai, yalalai lai lai, yalalai lai lai, yalalai lai lai. Yalalai lai lai, yalalai lai lai. Am I awake? Am I prepared?
Please be seated as we turn to page 149. Praise to you, Adonai, our God, from whom the evening flows. Your wisdom sets the way on which time and season glide. Your breath guides the sail of the stars, creator of the tide of time and light. You guide the current of day into night. As heaven spans to infinity, you set its course for eternity. Praise to you, Adonai, our God, from whom the evening flows. Baruch atah Adonai, hama'ariv aravim.
Ahavat olam, Beit Yisrael, Amecha ata, Amcha ahata. Torah u'mitzvot, Chukim u'mishpatim, Otanu lemadeta, Otanu lemadeta. Al kein Adonai Eloheinu b'shokbenu, Umenu na'asiach b'chukecha, V'nizmach b'divrei Toratcha, U'mitzvotecha le'olam va'ed. Ki hem chayenu, be'orech yameinu, uvahem nege yomam v'layla, nege yomam v'layla. Be'achavatcha al tasik, mimenu le'olamin. Baruch atah Adonai, Ohev Amo Yisrael. Ohev Amo Yisrael. Shema Yisrael, Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai echad. Ve'ata et Adonai Elohecha b'chol levavcha v'chol nafshecha u'v'chol me'odecha ve'hayu hadvarim ha'ele asher anochi mitzavecha Hayom al levavecha, v'shinantam levanecha v'dibarta b'am, b'shivtecha b'veitecha, uv'lechtecha v'aterech, uv'shochbecha uv'kumecha, u'kshartam le'ot al yadecha v'hayu letotafot b'neinecha, Uktatam al mizuzot beitecha uvisharecha lema'an tizkeru va'asitem et kol mitzvotai v'yitem kedoshim le'elohechem ani Adonai Elohechem asher hotzetichem me'eretz Mitzrayim Liot lachem Elohim, Ani Adonai Elohechem, Adonai Elohechem, Emet.
We turn to page 157 as we read responsively. In a world torn by violence and pain, a world far from wholeness and peace, give us the courage to say, Adonai, there is one God in heaven and earth. From bondage in Egypt we were delivered. At Sinai we bound ourselves to your way. Though our failings are many and our faults are great, it has been our glory to bear witness to our God, keeping alive in dark ages your vision of a world redeemed.
Mi chamocha ba'elim Adonai, mi kamocha nedar b'kodesh, nora tehilot, ose pelech. kamocha ba'elim Adonai. Mi kamocha nedar b'kodesh. Who is like you? Who is like you, Adonai? Who is like you, Adonai? When Moses and the children crossed the sea, they sang to you with songs of joy. Who is like you, Adonai? Mi chamocha ba'elim Adonai. Mi kamocha nedar b'kodesh. Nora tehilot ose pele. Baruch atah Adonai Ga'al Yisrael. Let there be love and understanding among us. Let peace and friendship be our shelter from life's storms. Let there be love and understanding among us. Let peace and friendship be our shelter from life's storms. Hashkivenu Adonai Eloheinu. Hashkivenu Leshalom. Leha'amidenu Shomrenu lekayim. Ufros alenu Sukat shlomecha. Ashivenu Adonai Eloheinu. Ashkivenu Leshalom. Let there be love and understanding among us. Let peace and friendship be our shelter from life's storms. Let there be love and understanding among us. Let peace and friendship be our shelter from life's storms. Vishamru v'nei Yisrael et ha-Shabbat, Lasot et ha-Shabbat ledorotam, Berit olam, Beini uve'bnei Yisrael oti leolam. Ki sheshet yamim asa Adonai et hashamayim ve'et haaretz, uvayom hashvi'i Shabbat Shabbat vayinaf Shabbat, Shabbat vayinaf. Vishamru v'nei Yisrael et ha-Shabbat, et ha-Shabbat ledorotam, berit olam, Beini uve'bnei Yisrael oti leolam. Oti leolam. Oti leolam.
165. Prayer invites God's presence to suffuse our spirits, God's will to prevail in our lives. Prayer may not bring water to parched fields, nor mend a broken bridge, nor rebuild a ruined city. But prayer can water an arid soul, mend a broken heart, rebuild a weakened will. We turn to our prayer, the central prayer section of our service, the Tefillah, on page 164. If you are able, please rise.
Yalla lai lai lai, yalla lai lai lai, yalla lai lai lai, yalla lai lai lai. Adonai sifatai tiftach, ufi yagid tehilatecha. Adonai, open up my lips, that my mouth may declare your praise. Yalla lai lai lai, yalla lai lai lai, yalla lai lai lai, yalla lai lai lai. Yaseh shalom aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael ve'ibru imeru amen. Oseh shalom imromah Yaseh shalom aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael ve'ibru Imeru amen. Yaseh shalom, Yaseh shalom, shalom aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael. Yaseh shalom, Yaseh shalom, shalom aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael. Yaseh shalom, Yaseh shalom, shalom aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael. Yaseh shalom, Yaseh shalom, shalom aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael. Yaseh shalom, Yaseh shalom, shalom aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael.
For years, the Hebrew Union College, Jewish Institute of Religion, the Reformed Rabbinical and Cantorial Seminary, in its brochures, in its publicity, and its recruitment tools, used one very specific picture. The picture was of a number of rabbinic and cantorial students from the New York campus of the College Institute at some type of protest. And in the middle of the picture was a husband and wife rabbinical students, both of them students of the college. And the wife is holding a big sign that says, from this week's Parsha, Tzedek, Tzedek Tirdof, justice, justice shall you pursue. And the joke about the picture is that the husband's face was covered up, and for years, as this picture was being used to bring in students, where was the justice? This Parsha brings to us these words that say, justice, justice shall you pursue. And for those of you who have studied Torah with me, those words should jump out at you like a blaring horn. Because the Torah is very economical with its language. It doesn't like to use more words than it needs to. The Torah is going to say someone has blue eyes, not radiant, sparkling blue like the ocean eyes. It's going to use one word when it can use one, not five. So the fact that it says justice, justice shall you pursue should sound different to us. It should gather our attention. It should draw us to these words and encourage us to ask what the text is telling us. The medieval commentator Bachia ben Asher says that the double emphasis means that justice should be pursued under any circumstance, whether it's to your own profit or loss, whether in words or in action, whether to a Jew or non-Jew alike. But he says it also means that our pursuit of justice must be through just means. We can't use unjust actions to get to justice. In other words, the means must justify the ends. Our people have been known for this idea of tzedek, this idea of justice. More than any other people in the ancient world, the Israelites focused on the idea of justice, comparing the Torah to the law codes of Hammurabi in Babylon, to the Greeks, to the Romans, to the Egyptians. They all had their laws pertaining to what was right and what was wrong, what was legal and what was illegal. But only the Torah focused on the idea of justice, about equity, about fairness, about making sure that the widow, the orphan, and the stranger were brought into our community, brought into our midst. And as the Torah teaches us, that we treat them the same, saying that we should have one law for the Israelite and the non-Jew, the non-Israelite alike. And so throughout our history, this idea of justice has been central to who we are as a people. So much so that even our youngest children are taught this idea, or have this idea ingrained upon them. So much so that at our students' bar and bat mitzvah ceremonies, what do they receive from the congregation? A Tanakh to guide their Jewish learning, and a tzedakah box to guide their tzedek, their pursuit of justice. Tzedek, tzedek tirdof, the Torah tells us, justice, justice shall you pursue. You shouldn't just wait for it. You shouldn't just do it when it's convenient, but you should chase after it, looking for justice when it is hard to be found, trying to find those moments of justice and those paths of justice, even when they hide from us, even when they are nowhere in our midst. We're supposed to yearn for them. We're supposed to grapple for them. And we are supposed to do what's right. And as the Torah says in the following verses, on that pursuit, stay straight. Don't veer to the right or the left, but constantly pursue tzedek. Pursue that justice. Amen. With our hearts opened by words of Torah, we pause in our service as we think of those members of our community who are ill. Some are in the hospital, some are at home recovering, and some have diseases and illnesses from which they may never recover. This week we think especially of David Sankey, Diane Frontman, Harley Berlant, Carolyn Eisenhart, Emily Poisson, Stanley Bissell, Rena Fields, Richard Jacobs, Randy Bazerman, Brooke Jacobs, Spencer Schilling, Larry Futterman, Marty Barish, Gary Paul, Brian Berger, Chandler Jacobs, Dory Korn, Harriet Jacobs, Renee Fahn, Susan Abrams, Yael Bat David Valea, Bev Mahone, Alan Friedman, Sarah Kahn, Lee Silverstein, Jill Van Team, Eleanor Goodman, Yuli Makovich, Libby Routman, Laurel Phoenix, Marjorie Whitmore, Jerry Phillips, Claire Levin, Paul Kershon, Reva Fisher, Leslie Knight, Bert Singerman, Stephen Schiff, Mateo Velasquez, Max Jacobs, Kathy Waldner, Richard Zuspin, Christopher Denton, and Phyllis Lapin. If you are thinking of someone who is in need of a prayer of healing, I invite you to share their name with the community as my eyes meet yours, to add their name to the chat. We think of all of them, all who are in need of healing of body, spirit, and soul. We ask for God's healing presence to be with them now and always. We also ask for God to care for those victims of violence around the world. May they be blessed with hope and healing and love. We ask for God to care for those who care for the sick each day, blessing their hands and their hearts with wisdom, love, support, and strength. And we ask for God's healing presence to be with all of us, all of them. Together we sing these words, page 371.
Mi sheberach avotenu mekor habracha leimotenu. May the source of strength who bless the ones before us, help us find the courage to make our lives a blessing, and let us say, Amen. Mi sheberach imotenu mekor habracha leavotenu. Bless those in need of healing with refuah shelema, the renewal of body, the renewal of spirit, and let us say, Amen.
We turn to page 586 as we rise for Aleinu.
Aleinu l'shabeach la'adon hakol, lateit gerula liyotzer bereshit, shehu notesh shamayim v'yosed haaretz, umoshav yikaro b'shamayim mima'al, ushchinat uzo begove meromim, u'eloheinu einod, v'anachnu koreim, u'mishtachavim u'modim, lipnei melech malchei hamlachim, HaKadosh Baruch Hu, v'ne'emar v'haya Adonai, l'melech al kol haaretz, bayom ahu, yeh Adonai echad, Ushamo, Ushamo, Ushamo Echad.
Please be seated. Page 595. Yesh kochavim she'oram magia arza. Rak ka'asher hem atzmam avdu ve'enam. There are stars up above. So far away we only see their light long, long after the star itself is gone. And so it is with people that we loved. Their memories keep shining ever brightly, though their time with us is done. But the stars that light up the darkest night, these are the lights that guide us. As we live our days, these are the ways we remember. Our thoughts now turn to those who have departed this earth, our own loved ones, those whom our friends and neighbors have lost, the martyrs of our people whose graves are unmarked, and those of every race and nation whose lives have been a blessing to humanity. As we remember them, we meditate on the meaning of love and loss, of life and death. At this sacred moment of our Shabbat evening worship, we think longingly and lovingly of those taken from us both recently and at this season in years past. We are in a period of Shiva, the first 7 days since his funeral, of Itai Rosen. We're in a period of Shloshim, the first 30 days since their passing of Alan Bronfman and Alan Hawkeiser. And we mark the art sites, the anniversary of their passing on this Shabbat, of Hope Altman, Ruben Brustein, Jane Fishbach, Doris Goldhill, Ann Lesser, Roy Post, and Barney Ronald Radoff. If you are thinking of someone, remembering someone on this Shabbat, I invite you to share their name with the community as my eyes meet yours. Zikronam livracha. May all of their memories be a blessing. And may we take all of their memories into our hearts, along with the millions of our people who have no one to say Kaddish for them. So we turn now to these words hallowed by time, words which bind heaven and earth together, the words of the Kaddish on page 598. We rise. Yitgadal v'yitgadash shemei Rabbah, be'alma divrach hirutei v'amlich malchutei, b'chaye echon uv'yom echon uv'chaye dechol beit Yisrael, ba'agala uv'izman kari v'imru. Amen. Yehei shmei Rabbah mevorach le'olam elamei almaya. Yitbarach v'yishtabach v'yitpa'ar v'yitromam v'yitnaseh. V'yitadar v'yitaleh v'yitalal shmei d'kudsha brichu. Le'elam min kol birchata v'shirata. Tushbechata v'nechemata. Da'amiran bi'alma v'imru. Amen. Yehei shlama Rabbah min shemaya. V'chayim aleinu v'al kol Yisrael v'imru. Amen. Osei shalom bimromav, huya asei shalom, aleinu v'al kol Yisrael, v'imru. Amen. May the source of peace send peace to all who mourn, and comfort to all the bereaved among us, as together we all say, Amen.
Osei shalom bimromav, huya asei shalom. Aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael ve'imeru. Amen.
Please be seated. Good Shabbos, everyone.
Good Shabbos.
Good evening, good Shabbos. It was a pleasure being with all of you this evening as we welcomed in Shabbat. Just a few brief announcements before we conclude our service and join together for an Oneg Shabbat. This Sunday there is no religious school, and this Monday our office is closed, just a reminder, in observance of the Labor Day holiday. But on Tuesday night, moving from the first Monday this month to the first Tuesday of the month, is Sisterhood Book Club at 7:30 p.m. On Wednesday at 11 a.m. we will gather in the social hall to continue studying the book of Joshua with our weekly Tanakh study. And at 6 o'clock on Wednesday evening is our next C. Diddy pizza night for 9th through 12th graders, and 9th and 10th grade class and confirmation begins at 7 on Wednesday night. On Thursday, our knitting and crochet group meets at 1, and our adult B'nai Mitzvah program will meet in the classrooms at 7:30 p.m. Next Friday night, you're invited to join us again for Kabbalat Shabbat. As every week we gather at 7:30. And next Saturday morning, we will gather together at 10:30, celebrating with the Kaim family as Colin celebrates becoming a bar mitzvah, the newest adult member of the Jewish people. And that evening at 7:30, we will gather back here for dueling pianos. There is still time to RSVP, to sign up. One Shabbos is over, but make sure to do so. It's going to be a lot of fun, and we hope to see you all next Saturday night. Then a week from Sunday, Kol Sason, our youth choir, will meet, followed by at 8:30, followed by religious school at 9, play Tamid at 9:15, and a high holiday choir rehearsal at 12:30. So it's a busy weekend. Just a thank you this week to Ruthie Cohen for hosting what I heard was an amazing generation-to-generation sisterhood kickoff breakfast for dinner last week. I heard the food was good company, good friends, and 50 women together in Ruthie's house. So thank you, Ruthie, for doing that. Many of you saw this morning that registration has gone live for our adult trip to New York City, which is March 22nd. So please, if you have any questions, let me know. It's going to be a phenomenal trip. It's going to be a lot of fun, and hope to see many of you in Manhattan with us. But now we're going to conclude our service. I'm going to ask all of our kids to come up, anyone who's not celebrated becoming a bar or bat mitzvah, to help with Kiddush as we all turn to page 123, and we rise.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam borei peri hagafen. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher kitshanu b'mitzvotav v'ratzavanu v'shabbat kodsho v'yahava uvratzon hinchilanu zikaron lema'aseh v'reishit ki hu yom tehila lemikra kodesh zecher letziat mitzrayim Ivanu v'acharta, v'otanu kidashta mikol hamim, v'shabbat kodshecha, b'yahava u'v'ratzon, hinchalatanu, baruch atah Adonai mekadesh ha-shabbat. L'chaim.
We uncover our challah. Three of you can grab onto it as we sing together.
Hamotzi lechem min haaretz. We give thanks to God for bread. Our voices rise in song together as our joyful prayer is said. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam. Hamotzi lechem min haaretz. Amen.
Please be seated just for a moment before we conclude with our final song and blessing. It is the first Shabbos in September, which means, thanks guys for helping, which means it is birthday Shabbat. Do we have any September birthdays?
What?
Ashley's just a little excited.
We should bring the whole Chanel family up here. Tyler, what have you done that you need to do to come on up here so we can make it whole?
So any other September birthdays? So you, in the congregation, introduce yourself. What day is your birthday, and if you want to share, how old?
My birthday's the 11th, and I'll be 30.
What?
Mazel tov.
Thank you.
Mazel tov.
Who said finally?
Yom Hulet.
Huledet Sameach, Yom Huledet Sameach, Yom Huledet Sameach, Yom Huledet Sameach. Happy birthday to you, happy birthday to you, happy birthday, dear Ashley. Happy birthday to you.
For our closing song and benediction, we turn to words that are traditionally sung during this time of Elul, during this month preceding Rosh Hashanah, the Jewish New Year, the words from Psalm 27, Achat Sha'alti. which will then be concluded with the sound of the shofar. And we turn to page 662, and once again, please rise.
Achat sha'alti meit Adonai ota vakesh. Achat sha'alti meit Adonai ota vakesh. Shiti beveit Adonai kol yemei chayai. Lachazot benoam Adonai ulvaker beichalo. Lachazot benoam Adonai ulvaker beichalo. Tekiah.
Shabbat Shalom.
Shabbos. Turn some stuff off first. Just hold us 1 second.